Hey y'all, Josh here today, aka the world's greatest dad, and what we have here is the MZK battery powered pruning shear with extension. And today we're going to unbox this bad boy, take a detailed close look at it, fully test it out, see if it might be something you need to pick up as well. So with that being said, let's get it. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. When you pick this thing up, it's going to come to you in a box just like this. Let's get her opened up, see what we're working with. And here's everything that's going to come in this package, including our electric shears themselves, little battery connection terminal, 20-volt MZK battery along with charger. We've got our instruction manual, a little thank you card, some shear covers, and our 12-foot extension. So before we go any further, we ran inside here so we could get our MZK battery all powered up. Again, this is going to be a 20-volt battery. A couple things I'll point out on this is, number one, you've got this little push button right here. When you push that, it's going to show you how much of a charge that you currently have. There's 4 little tick marks, and as you can see, we are about 3.5, so we really shouldn't have to charge this thing much right out of the box. To charge this up, we're going to use our wall charger. The cord on this is just about 6 feet long, and all we're simply going to do is take this end here, plug that into the top of the battery, and then put this in our standard wall outlet. Now, while our battery is charging, you will see a little red light on the charger. That means that it's currently charging. Once this light turns green, that means it's fully charged and we're good to go. While our battery's charging, let's go ahead and take a little closer look at our user manual. Fairly straightforward product, but they do have some general safety instructions, information about the battery, as well as the structure of the tool, how to charge your battery, how to get this thing mounted with the battery on the tool itself, how to connect to the extension pole, how to swivel the head, how to manipulate the extension pole, and then how to replace the blade if you ever need to take this thing off to sharpen it or replace it. So the 2 tools that they do provide you with are exclusively used for taking off your shears right here. As you can see, this little Allen wrench tool fits in on that, and our little wrench here fits in right there. Now, if you were to lose these, it wouldn't be a big deal because these are fairly standard tools that really you probably have in your shop somewhere, but you might want to hang on to them just in case. Now, we left this on the charger for about an hour. Again, it was fairly filled when we got it, but as you can see, the light has turned green on this, meaning it's fully charged. And if we click our battery, you can see there we also have a full charge. So we got a fully charged battery. Let's go ahead and show you how to connect this thing. Now, the reason it comes with this little extension connection piece is because this is either going to plug into the unit itself if you want to use it as a handheld, or it's going to plug into the bottom of our extension. So the first thing we'll do is go ahead and put our battery right here on the bottom. As you can see, that clicks in. If you ever want to remove the battery, use this button right here and you remove it. And now we'll go ahead and take our battery and connection piece and put this at the bottom of the unit. Again, same deal. It's just going to snap right in there. And if you want to remove that, use this little push button and it snaps back down. Now we'll go ahead and just do a little close look at the product itself. This thing is fairly lightweight, so should be easy for anybody to use and do some cutting with. Another thing I want to show you here is that it has this little additional 2-trigger mechanism. So if we just try to pull the trigger there, it's not going to take off. We actually have to push this down and then pull that as well. So I could have these 2 fingers down here or these 3, and then when I pull this, it's going to go ahead and cut until I release. So kind of a nice little safety feature right there. Now, another little safety feature they have are these shear covers right here. So you can go ahead and keep those on anytime you're not using this. And that's also going to protect your blades from getting kind of rubbed down or damaged. Now, before we head outside, let's go ahead and do an up close test on 3 different size tree branches. We have a 1/2 inch here. We've got a 1 inch and we've got a 1.5 inch. Now, the max capacity of this, it says, is 1.2 inches, but we'll test these out and see how it does. First off, let's go ahead and cut our 1/2 inch. Again, we got to push both our triggers. No problems there. Let's do another one. All right, no problem on the 1/2 inch. And now for our 1 inch. All right, we did get through the 1 inch, but it took us about 4 or 5 tries. It just keeps kind of inching its way through. Let's go ahead and do that again. All right, same things. So 4 attempts to get through the 1 inch. Now this is 1.5 inches right here, which as you can see is just going to be a little too big for something like this. So if you are trimming large branches, you're gonna have to use a different tool besides this. All right, so this thing is a 2-in-1 tool, which means we can either use the handheld version right here, but what really makes this thing special is the fact that it comes with this nice extension pole here, so we can get to those hard to reach high tree limbs. Let's go ahead and show you how you get this connected this way. All we're going to do is simply push this button right here to remove both our battery pack as well as our connection. Now at the bottom of our pole, we'll simply reconnect this right here, and that just snaps into place. Now at the top of our pole, we're simply going to take the unit itself, slide that into place here. It will click, and then there's a little latch there too that you can simply tighten right there. Now when our pruning shears are connected to our extension pole, the first thing I'll point out is that you cannot operate it here on the top, and it's got to be operated right down here at the bottom. Again, kind of a 2-trigger mechanism for safety, so you've got to push this in and pull the trigger at the same time. When we do that, you'll see it operates just like it did before. Now if you want to manipulate the cutting angle of this, you're going to go ahead and use this little push button right here. And basically you've got 7 different degrees you can change this from. It's set at 90 degrees right here. Now we're at 67.5, 45 degrees, 22.5, straight up and down with 0 degrees, minus 22.5, or minus 50 degrees. Now the last adjustment we can make is extending our extension arm. Now as is, this thing is going to be about 5 feet from battery all the way to tip, and you've got 2 additional feet of extension right here. To manipulate that, all we're simply going to do is pull that clip up, pull this out, lock it in, and now we've got ourselves about 7 feet. So I'm a 6 foot tall guy. That means I could reach roughly 13 feet, 13, 14 feet from the ground to some pretty high branches. So now that you know pretty much everything there is to know about this thing, let's go ahead and prune this pear tree. So we've been chopping away for about an hour. As you can see, we've cut ourselves quite a few branches. Tree is still fairly dense. I do need to do some cleanup work there in the middle, but I did get a lot of those upper suckers and got it aired out a little bit in between there. If we take a look at our battery, we still have 3/4 of a battery left, so not that bad for all that cutting. Now, although our MZK pruner here only comes with 1 battery, a cool thing about MZK tools is they have a lot of different tools and the same battery powers them all. So for example, here we've got ourselves an MZK leaf blower. I also have myself their cordless tiller, and the batteries that came with each of these also will work in here. Now if you want additional batteries, you can also pick these up online as well. So there you go, kids. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the MZK battery powered pruning shears. So to close this video out, here's my 3 takeaways. Number 1, I like the overall design and operation of this thing. Whether you're using it as a handheld unit or on the extension pole, it's engineered fairly well and it's easy to use. And number 2, we threw a lot of different size branches at this thing today, and what I found is 1/2 inch branches, absolutely no problem. 3/4 inch branches, absolutely no problem. Now you get up to that inch, it's going to take you about 3 or 4 attempts to get completely through it, depending on the type of wood that you're going through. We cut through a lot of stuff here today on this pear tree, and we really had no issues getting most of these branches pulled down. And number 3, I found that this 20-volt battery does a pretty decent job of keeping you juiced and keeping you going. Now today we cut for about an hour with this thing. We still had 3/4 to about half of our battery power left. And of course, if you buy any other MZK tools, all the batteries are interchangeable. And it's for those reasons and more, I'm going to go ahead and give the MZK battery powered pruning shears a world's greatest dad thumbs up, and I say, go out and get you some. Hey, one more thing before you go. I want to let you know that the MZK company behind this electric pruning shear is a big fan of the world's greatest dad's in-depth and informational videos. Therefore, about a month ago, they reached out to me and asked me if they could send me this product for video review purposes. Now, with that being said, all the thoughts and opinions expressed in this video were my own, and I always do my best to accurately describe any product I review. Now, I hope this video helped you out. We'll see you next time.